Ha ha, yeah. That's good. Anyways, let's take a look at 2012. What is going to happen? There are several theories on this, but only recently, through this disclosure movement, has scientists and theorists start to come out with results from research that has been happening for the past year or two. And in recent findings, Tibetan monasteries have monks that go through remote viewing all the time, daily. And they've been seeing these visions. They don't know if it's 2012 or later, but there's a general feeling from around 200 monks. Like, it's very solid evidence that something is going to happen with the world. That countries are going to start pulling back their forces and attack with nuclear capabilities, like nuclear war, or some kind of big war that's going to bring the destruction of our entire planet. And because the Greys are a Type 1 society that can control entire planets' life cycle by mere just the touch of a finger, civilizations that's environment involves several planets interacting with them instead of interacting with just one planet. A species that is able to control anything on this planet, and they're able to make it do anything that they want. And in the event of such, they will not let us do something that goes beyond karma. To destroy ourselves is to destroy millions of lives, billions, not just human, and to ruin their work. Now, even though we are gods and we are all great, and to them, we are all great, and they do allow us to go through karma and have our experiences and let us make our own faults, because they feel that in the end we're going to build up to a point where it's imminent that we start to interact with them, according to the monks. Now, according to people like Ricky UFO Abductee, he's had visions, and other abductees have had visions that were given to them by the Greys of events that are going to happen, where the Greys are going to come down in their ships to stop something from happening. So it's imminent that something is going to happen. And either way, we'll be okay. Now, there's a lot of talk about 9/11 being fake, the Great London Disaster being a whole setup, and Osama bin Laden, his death being just done so that way we can get our troops home, and that really didn't happen. That he's really either still alive or he was killed years ago. But the way the media is set up, it's to the point where it's obvious that people aren't sure of what's true and what's not. So they're going to start turning to each other instead of to the media sources. People are going to have to unite. You can tell that the words I'm using are true, and that I'm right on the crisp of something. We are doubting everything that we've built, and therefore it is all going to crumble down and be rebuilt. We're going to start over. But it's going to be imminent. It's going to have to happen, and it's all going to be good. And it's all going to be for the best. So don't fear, because this is all positive motion. We are going to start seeking out the truth, disclosure, and what people really want in life. People will start to open up centers where you can just meditate. And the jobs will not be localized towards making money anymore. People will do jobs because they simply want to do it. Because they know its importance in the world and they feel that it makes them happy. I work with a guy who took a job that he didn't like, working in construction at All South Lightning Protection. And he has really turned it around and became one of my best foremans. By way of Howard Stern. He puts Howard Stern radio in his truck. He puts it all over the place. And he has taken something from his life that makes him happy. He likes to laugh. He likes to be part of this network. And he has included it with something that he doesn't mind doing, but he doesn't love doing it either. And now he likes doing it because he's doing something else that he likes. And that's just as good as far as I'm concerned. If everybody could at least find something that can make their job likable. And many people say that we don't look at the world around us enough, and we don't see the clues and the information. And I always thought, what do you mean? What do you mean? But now I'm starting to see it. I was with my dad the other day, and I was thinking about how every day I hug him, I say, I love you, Dad, but it's nothing like how a dog appreciates you. We are probably one of the least loving species on this planet. My puppy licks me like crazy every day, and he does it out of pure love. But we do not kiss our parents on the face like as crazy as dogs do. They feel so much love that we can't even get around ourselves to start feeling. Why not? Why have all these social barriers that we have built? If we had mutual respect and mutual love for each other, and we showed love just as well as dogs did, we wouldn't be in these kind of wars, and we wouldn't have these kind of problems. Americans are no better than Middle Easterns, and Middle Easterns are no better than Americans. Americans think that all Middle Easterns are terrorists because of what happened at 9/11. And from recent data shows that at 9/11 there were shards of bullets that I mean, why would there be bullets shooting through the building? There were shards of explosions that can only happen from a bullet. Residue, because of the type of reactions that couldn't happen through a plane hitting the building. So they have evidence that it was staged. And they are no better than us because they think that, well, us, I mean Americans, I'm an American. They think they're no better than Americans because they think that we're all soldiers. And they hate soldiers. That's why they want to kill all the public people, everybody. The media may have used the opportunity to do what happened at 9/11, but either way, no matter what really happened, the truth is that we are so caught up in our daily lives that we don't even see how blind we are. How we are all the same. We are all just attacking each other for the same reason. We've all been duped. We've all been lied to. It's all been a trick. All this hatred we feel, none of it's real. It's all been given to us. And now we must take it away from each other. So you know what? Shut the hell up about 2012. Forget about it. Ignore the media hype. Ignore all the stupid Mayan texts. Just believe in love and believe in being happy. And it won't matter what happens. Nothing will destroy you. If everyone made a complete movement, no such dangers would even be imminent. So you want me to tell you what happens in 2012? Well, forget it! Forget that there's an exact date that anything happens. Nothing happens overnight. Even if the Greys do come here, it won't stop there. It's not like it's just a one-day thing. If they do come, then it'll be several days, and they'll get very involved. And sooner or later, it wouldn't matter, because we'd have to get involved with them anyways as we grow into a higher level society. All Type 1 societies have to interact with each other. All Type 0 societies have to interact with each other. We interact with wild animals because we are wild animals. Because we are zeros. We are zeros. We are Type 0. And when we become Type 1, we'll interact with Greys, whose brains have so many neural networks that they can process information 100 times faster than we can right now. I tell you, you think that the Greys are so frightening? They should be. They have accomplished things that require millions of years. They should have areas of their brains that allow them to understand the universe in ways that we can't even imagine. If you look at how our bodies are composed compared to other animals in our species, most animals' bodies, their brain is only a very, very, very small percentage of their body weight. Ours, on the other hand, is at least 10 times greater of our body weight percentage than any other animal on this planet. Therefore, we can comprehend things in ways that other animals on this planet can't imagine. And as we become more complex, so will our brains. And so, in the future, we will become a Type 1 society. We have to. You want to know about all the paranormal anomalies? Here you go. Ghost? Those are figures of a higher being that are interacting with their afterlife. When you go to sleep, you interact with life in a manner that's ghostly, where you're like a ghost, and you get to interact with it. But it's all real-world sights. All things that could be from different lives. So then what the hell do you think ghosts are? What do you think it is when you feel like a weird tingle and you hear something that's using a perception that you normally don't have? Well, there you go. Just use that as an answer. It doesn't matter. Who cares what the real answer is? Just pick an answer. We'll figure it out when we're ready to. When our brains are physically ready to figure it out. When people want to understand, like, how did life begin? How did it begin? How can you just start out with one atom? Well, duh, dummy. You're not ready to understand it. You have to evolve into that understanding. You're not smart enough to understand it. The best way we can understand it is that it just is. It just is. Everything just is. We haven't created anything better. Everything that we understand has to have a purpose. There is nothing beyond having a purpose. But maybe someday we'll evolve into understanding that goes beyond that. I see it as a higher spirituality. That our higher spirituality, that is God, our higher selves, that has created all this, puts it so that way we can understand it. It's just quite that simple. And that it just is. Recent studies have shown that people in near-death experiences not only see things like going through a tunnel, but they also feel like great warmth, love, and like they're going to see loved ones that they haven't seen in a long time. And their consciousness continues after their heart has stopped pumping blood to it. That is proof that this body is just a vehicle. That's all it is. It is a vehicle for our spirituality. And our spirituality controls everything. We know everything because everything is in us. And our spirituality can control everything. Because it is everything. And that's what they meant by God is everywhere. They didn't mean that He is literally everywhere. As if you could see it with your senses. No. It is beyond that. It is more like we are a program in a system that is not built. It just is. Look at the atom. It does so much work, and yet its properties are what? Elements have properties, but atoms, the things that make up those properties, they just are. They just do. Their movements that they make, they just do. You don't see scientists coming up with a reason for that. That's because there isn't. It just is. And we won't understand anything beyond that until we're ready. Just like how 2012 or any of these major events that are happening, it doesn't matter what they are. They just are. When they happen, they'll happen. So what? Who cares? Go on living your life. It's not like if you die, your life is going to end. You live on forever. So what difference does it make? Go be happy. Forget about it. Don't worry yourself with such poisonous thoughts, because that's all it is. It's poison for your spirituality. It's poison for your afterlife. Because what you do in this world, you're going to have to go through it in your afterlife. You don't want to go through that misery, trying to figure out what is and what isn't. You know what? Just accept it and continue on. And until we can accept it, we can't move on. So just listen to me, please.